What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now, Back to the Past. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some games that I hope to cover in 2024. Kind of a channel update, but like I just said, right, to kind of go over some games or franchises I want to hit in the next year. Now, I want to say this very early on. I definitely want to hear what you guys want to see in the comments. So, let me know any games. There have been some really good suggestions of kind of out there franchises over the year that we've been around on this channel. I write them all down. I got a long list, and I'm not going to hit, obviously, all of them, at least right away. But my plan, let's go over kind of my plan first, and then we'll hit the specific games. So, obviously, we're still in the first year of this channel. I'm still trying to figure out, exactly how to do this and what I kind of want to do. But a couple of things that I think you can expect over the next year. Games that are getting sequels and anniversaries. Those are kind of the big two. So I've always been an anniversary kind of guy in terms of like dates and like literal years, the amount of time that's passed since a game has come out. So what I've been trying to do, and I've tried to do this over the last maybe half year, and I think this is a good strategy going into next year, kind of like the big numbered anniversaries. So when it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, things like that. To do something like a 3-year anniversary or a 4-year anniversary, right? I'm trying to do like the big numbers, 5 or 10, and then I guess factors of those. That's kind of my plan. And early on when this channel started, it didn't really matter, right? I did games that were 13 years old or 11 years old. But as time has gone on, I've personally settled when I kind of circle games and say, okay, well, what turns a certain age, right? 5, 10, 15. Those are kind of the ones that I'm looking at. And then, and I'm going to give examples of these, by the way, that I want to do next year, 2024, whenever you guys see this video. But the other one is in terms of a new game in a franchise that's coming out. This one you could probably start to give examples. So like Hellblade. Hellblade is one that immediately comes to mind. As we get closer to Hellblade 2, there'd be a video on Hellblade 1. As we get closer to Dragon's Dogma 2, there'd be a video on Dragon's Dogma. So things like that. Okay, that's kind of the plan. Back to the anniversary. So in terms of franchises that I kind of want to take a look at, 2009 was actually a really, really big year for games, which I'm very happy about because 2009, 15 years ago. So games like Prototype, games like Batman Arkham Asylum, these are games that I've been, kind of writing down, thinking about, and I want to hit these games. Also, franchises that we're getting close to, so say GTA 6. Not going to be able to play every GTA game in, say, a calendar year if this thing comes out in 2025. So I actually want to start that in 2024. Do something like maybe the first couple GTAs and then kind of work my way through it. Dragon Age would be one to match the new Dragon Age game coming out, Dragon Age Dreadwolf. So that's like a loose plan. Another thing that I have said, I think I maybe have said it in community notes, but I can say it here. So my hope for this channel, we're getting very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting close to the 4,000 hour watch time. I like doing 2 videos a week. I mean, obviously it keeps me on my toes and I'm covering all these games, but to kind of lessen the workload on myself and to eventually just start to make some better videos and to go even more in depth, I do eventually want to get down to 1 video a week. So that's kind of my short term, because I hope it's going to happen in the short term, my short term plan. If we can hit 1,000, hit the 4,000 hour watch, time, maybe like January, February, March, somewhere in that, range, go down to 1 video a week. That would do 2 different things. It would let me not have to play 2 games a week just for this channel, and then also it let me kind of go more in depth in the one game that I would choose, right? So every week you would get one thing, but maybe the video could be 25, 30 plus minutes long. You could have better editing, all that jazz, and I would work on that. And I think that would be better for the channel, but in order to do that, I definitely would only need to do 1 video, a week instead of 2. So short term, knock down the workload a little bit, but that way we can kind of prioritize specific games. And then long term, like I said, I'm really excited. Like I think to Dragon Age, and I think to Infamous. Infamous was another 2009 one. 2009, like I said, has a lot of stuff. 2014, I don't think was as packed as something like 2009, but that's kind of the plan. And I hope we get, more game announcements. You think of an Assassin's Creed game that's probably going to come out in the fall. We can do some Assassin's Creed games of old on the channel. So that's kind of the structure, at least for now. Trying to match games with new games that are coming out in the same franchise, and then anniversaries. I did get a suggestion. I've thought of this, and I've already thought actually of a couple developers to do this to. Also, well, okay, well, are you just going to do retrospectives on older games? No, I actually would like to do other stuff. I did a tier list back, a little while ago, like in the beginning, actually, of this channel. I'd like to do more tier lists, more rankings. I'd like to kind of sprinkle them in here and there. The more games I play, the more I think knowledge I get to then be able to do ranking videos. So hopefully as time goes on, it's not just retrospective like essay reviews 10 years later. It's also tier lists, it's also rankings, it's things like that. But there was also a suggestion, and again, I did contemplate this actually early on, and we will do this, talking about kind of a entire history of something. So I've done history of like specific games, or we talked about Christmas games and Halloween games and failed Halloween games. But what about, say, developers? A developer kind of history, how they started, what games they made, the up and down kind of nature of it, and then where they're at now. I actually really like that idea, and I have at least one developer name in my head already to do it. So hopefully we can throw a little bit of diversity in there. What I've tried to do even recently is, big games are obviously harder, right? Because I do 2 videos a week. Can't play 2 40-hour games, right? They have to kind of be shorter. Opening it up, hopefully in the next couple months, to doing 1 game a week / 1 video a week. They can be longer games. They could be more of the Yakuza kind of, the ones that are 50, 60, 70 hours. And I can't do that now, but eventually I will. But what I try to do is maybe sprinkle in, hey, here's a look at my retro collection, or here's some games that I just got. Throw those videos in to kind of lessen the workload on me. Those will continue. My birthday is almost exactly 6 months, the exact opposite of Christmas. So hopefully, in the summer we can do another, hey, here's games that I got. I'd like to go to more retro stores. So, those videos will kind of pop in and out throughout the year. So I'm really excited. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary. Oh, I guess one final thing to say, I would eventually like to do some sort of live stream, not consistent like at all, just because I'm trying to be consistent, at least on the main channel. But I would like to live stream, for like a special thing, maybe a 1 year, or when we hit 1,000 subscribers, play an old game. I got the PS2, PS3, Xbox, all that stuff working, and I can stream from there. So old games are actually candidates to, do something with. So that's something I'd like to do. Again, not very consistent, but hey, if that hits, I see people do that all the time, right? Whether it's on YouTube or on Twitch, live streaming older. It doesn't have to be newer games, right? Older games. So I'm excited. We're approaching the 1 year. We did a really good job, I think, in the first year, tried to figure out what exactly, how we're going to cover games and what we're going to do. And I think it's only going to get better, especially when I can kind of lessen the workload on me, which hopefully, like I said, over the next couple months, we can do that. So as always, like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know in the comments games you want to see, franchises you want to see. I have a long list. I know I only mentioned like a few, but I check all the time, and I'm always looking at like which games are released each year. So any game that I'm into that came out in 2009, 2014, 2019, things like that. I mean, I'm always looking at it. So a lot of those games I'm going to try to cover, in this year. Plus games like Hellblade, like I said, for 2, or Dragon's Dogma, or, things like that. We're going to get as many as we possibly can. There's only so many weeks in the year, though, as well. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for watching. Again, let me know anything that you want to see on this channel, and I'll continue to update people in community updates as well on the community tab on the channel. And I hope to see you all on the next one.